Good afternoon. I'll try one more time. Good afternoon. That's better. That's better. I was going to start off. I was sitting here. I said, how do I start this off with this great group? Because this is the best chamber. And you should believe that, right? And we got the best mayor, too, right? Best chamber, best mayor. It doesn't get any better than that. I was going to start off because we're going to talk about self today. What do we need to do ourselves to be successful in 2015? And we all have seen people take their phone and take a picture of themselves. And now there's this selfie extension thing that you could clamp it on your phone and take the group picture now. This selfie thing has really gotten kind of out of control in some cases. But I was going to ask you to start off by getting your phone out and taking a picture of yourself and then use that picture as a way to identify maybe things that you need to improve on. Then I thought, I don't want to embarrass anybody that may still have a flip phone. and you can't participate in this quick exercise here. So just imagine that you're taking a picture of yourself here today. And as we go down this list of 5 things that I'm going to talk about, but I'd like to end with getting some input from you, because I just picked 5 selfies. But there's more than the 5 that's listed on here. But I want to highlight these 5 because I remember the Nike commercial that came out a few years back, and it really sums up what we're talking about here today. You win from within. You win from within. It starts between your ears. You've heard the expression, whether you think you can or you can't, you are absolutely what? Right. Yeah. Yeah. What position are you taking already this year? If you were given some kind of goals to achieve, when you got those goals, if you looked at them and said, there's no way I can do this, well, you know what? You're right. There's no way you'll do it. Because you're already what? Said you can't. It's that, see, so many people in life take what I call that self-defeated stance. And that's, by the way, that's one of the negative selfies. Self what? Defeated. You're already thinking there's no way I can what? Do this. When I'm working with salespeople, if they're already thinking there's no way I can sell this at the price that they want me to, well, guess what? You won't. There's no way I'm going to resolve this conflict with this customer when I'm doing customer service. Well, you know what? You won't. Your success depends upon self. I'm going to talk about a couple selfies. Look at the first one here. Self-discipline. What area? If you take a picture of yourself, you already know the area that you need self-discipline in. Maybe some of you needed self-discipline when you're in line over there with that food, right? You took an extra scoop. And you know you shouldn't have. See, self-discipline is 3 things. It's doing what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, but the third one is the toughest one, whether you feel like it or not. See, you need self-discipline with the areas that you don't feel, I mean, you know you need to do it. You know when you're supposed to do it, but you don't have the what? Self-discipline to carry it out. What's that 1 or 2 things that you know that if you exercise some self-discipline this year, it'll take you to where you need to be in 2015? Self-discipline. Self-discipline. We could spend time just talking about that one, but we don't have the time. But you know exactly where. You know it. That's why we're talking about selfies today. I'm just going to remind you of things you need to improve yourself. First one is self-discipline. What areas do you need self-discipline in that's going to help you be successful in 2015? Look at the second one, self-confidence. I was just working with a group on Monday, and we're talking about how to overcome the price resistance, the price objection, the price issue, the price concern. But the first thing I said to the group is, the first thing you have to have is self what? Confidence. You have to believe that the price you quoted is what? Fair and firm, fair and firm, fair and firm. So when that person looks at you and says, boy, your price is kind of high. You don't go, I know. I am so sorry. What would you like to spend? Here, just write it down here and just tell me. How's your self-confidence? Competence provides confidence. What areas do you need competence in to have the confidence to execute the things you need in a very professional manner, in a very confident manner? See, confidence, a lack of confidence is displayed two ways. Either you show it or you tell it. A lot of you, I can tell if you're confident right away when I first meet you, because you're going to do some things non-verbally that's going to tell me right away that you're lacking confidence. What are those first two things? Eye contact, right?
Most definitely.
Well, you can't even look at me. How's your eye contact when you meet people? How's that handshake? Is it firm? I'm not talking about bone crushing where we're having an arm wrestling contest, but a nice firm handshake, eye contact, those first second or two lets me know that I'm with someone that's what? Self-confident, good self-esteem, right? Someone that's what? Really, I can depend on. Somebody that's demonstrating that they know what they're talking about. Shoulders are squared. You're not in a fetal position while you're talking to me. How's your self-confidence? Are you showing people immediately that you don't have it? Or are you telling me with your word choice? I don't know. I'll think. I'll try. Not quite sure. I'll do the best I can. Well, you know I just started. How would you like your surgeon to say, you know, I'll do the best I can. Can't promise anything, no. You know, I just started, just graduated. You letting him operate on you? You letting her take care of you? I don't think so. Do you speak with confidence? Do you walk with confidence and assurance? Or you tell me right away, you're somebody that I really can't what? Trust. Because we all know that people buy from people who they what? Know, like, and trust. You don't have that self-confidence? It's really going to be tough to build that trust. You may get the know, you may get the like. I'm telling you right now, you're not getting the trust. You want all three. Look at the third one. Self-motivation. Did someone have to put you out this morning? Come on, honey. It's time to go. I know. How's your motivation? See, you can tell people that are motivated. They don't need it. Matter of fact, some of those people that are motivated, you probably walk up to them and said, are you on drugs or something? How are you like that all the time? You're always what? Always chipper, right? Always upbeat. What's going on? Can I have some of that? How's your motivation? Had your get up and go, get up and went? Does someone have to jumpstart you? I had a president of a company, well known, right here in the Cleveland area. And I'm talking to this gentleman, I said, because I'm thinking, I got to say this because if he hires me to do training, I want him to know that, hey, I know what I'm talking about. So I said, you know what? I got to mention this. When I walked in, the receptionist out front, she wasn't quite, and before I could finish, he stopped me and said, yeah, I know, that's Helen. But she's okay once you get to know her. Why? So, well, how long does that take? Because it's 11 o'clock now, and she still doesn't have it. How's the motivation? How's the excitement? I'm telling you, it comes from two places. Number one, can you be like me and say you love what you do? Boy, I love what I do. Because when you love what you do, it's easy to be what? Excited about it. Chipper about it, to use the mayor's word. Isn't it? Do you love what you do? Because it shows. And here's the second thing. You really feel what you do provides a what? A benefit, a service, some value. And when you got those two things going, you can't wait to get out there and what? Provide it. Make it available to the people you're coming in contact with. Nobody has to nudge you. Nobody has to push you. Nobody has to encourage you. You don't need one of those energy drinks. The energy comes from where? Within. Remember what I said in the onset. You win from within. Okay? So self-motivation, is that something you need to work on for 2015? Because you have kind of slipped a little bit. Your get up and go has got up and went. You really need to get what? Re-energized. Sometimes I use the phrase, keep it first time fresh. First time fresh. Because the longer you do something, it's very easy to become what? A little complacent, right? A little mundane, right? A little robotic. I mean, we see that when we go shopping. Yeah. Can I help you? Can I help you? Hi, how are you today? Okay. Because you can say something over and over and over again to the point where it becomes what? Mindless. It's like going home. If you go home the same way every day, have you ever done that? And you get home one day and you go, oh my God, I'm home. Did I run over anybody on the way? Because I don't remember a thing. Right? Because it becomes what? So routine. Sometimes you got to get out of the routine. That may help your motivation. You got into a rut and it's getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and you might as well just pull the dirt in on you. We got Boyd here, right? That'll help you out. I mean, you might as well. You're almost there now anyhow. One more step and you're there. They're our sponsor today. You may want to talk to them afterwards. Number 4, self-control. Oh man, how's your self-control? Every time I see that word, I think of my grandmother. She'd always tell my brother and I, think before you speak, think before you act. Do you do that? How's your thinking? Or do you shoot from the hip? And out it comes. See, the thing about words, once you say them, they're what? Yeah, they're out there. Same thing with emails. Well, same thing with emails. You better think before you what? Hit send. Okay, someone reminded me, I spoke at the Fast Break Breakfast in Canton, and someone reminded me about the Lincoln letters. And I never heard about that. But I'm always that person that likes to think before I speak or think before I act, and sometimes I'll sleep on things. And he said, well, President Lincoln, what he used to do is, if he had a letter to send that he thought was kind of critical or challenging, he would write the letter, but he wouldn't send it. He'd sleep on it. And if the next day he still felt it was, important or imperative to send it, then he would send it. Well, when he died, they went in his desk drawer and they found what? A lot of letters that were unsent. Okay? There may be some emails that you should be sleeping on before you send them. Here's how I sleep on emails. I never put the name, I never put who it's being sent to the very, very end. That way you can't even send it by mistake. Because a lot of times, if you're not careful, you put the name up there, right? The name's up there, and all of a sudden you maybe hit the wrong thing. Oh my God, I didn't mean to send that. Don't put the name on it. Plus, you can put it all in there and then put it where? Yeah, put it in the draft. And then come back and look at it later. See, sometimes we what? Too quick. Too quick to talk. Too quick to act. Exercise some self-control. How's your self-control? I saw self-control, a lack of self-control the other day. I'm right there at Richmond, right? In Chagrin. I'm the second car, third car. The first car, light turns green. Car doesn't move. The car behind them was not exercising self-control. He started what? I'm talking about immediately start what? Blowing his horn, flipping his hands all around. I'm behind this guy watching him, okay? He backs up, almost backs into me, and then starts going around the car. Well, there was a reason why this car hadn't gone through the light. Coming up Chagrin was an ambulance. And I'm going, here we go. This guy just missed the ambulance. Wow. All because he didn't have what? Yeah. Boy, you got to think. Think of Captain Sully. That's self-control. Okay? He didn't panic. Geese flew into both engines. The plane is what? The plane is going down. He exercised some self-control. Now, I'm sure he had a moment where he said, oh, crap, this isn't good. Okay, we all have that moment. But at some point, you got to exercise some self-control and take control of the situation and not let the situation what? Control you. Because that's what's happening. Either the situation is controlling you or you're controlling it. Which position do you want to take? I don't know about you, but I don't want anything controlling me. I want to be in what? Total control of my emotions. Don't let your emotions control you, because that's when your mouth gets out of whack, is when we get emotional. And when you get emotional, sometimes we have the ability to stop thinking. Stay in control. Stay in control. Continue to think. Firefighter?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know about it, don't you? You can't go, there's a fire. What do we do? Self-control. Policeman, right? Same thing, self-control. We got to exercise that. Everybody in this room, whatever because you're in a profession too. Do you think before you speak? Or do you kind of always go off half-cocked? And then you find yourself always coming back to apologize. Well, how many times can you do that before I say, you know what? That's enough of that. 5. This kind of sums up the first 4, right? Self what? Yeah. What are you doing for self-improvement? I was with a person and they were complaining about the company hasn't given me this and the company hasn't given me that. And I'm still waiting for the collateral material. And so I looked at him and finally I said, what? What are you doing? To improve what? Yourself. So everybody in here should have one thing that they're going to do this year for what? Self. Me. What's the self-improvement area that you have down for 2015? Where do you want to get better at? Where do you need to get better at? And if you're having some trouble with that, ask someone you know. I guarantee you they'll be happy to share with you the specific area that you need what? Yep, there you go. Right? Self-improvement. So as you look down these 5, there's still a couple more I haven't touched on. I want to get some group participation here because I know this is the greatest chamber, which means you got some great feedback for me too. But I gave you 5. So what other words start with self that would help us improve for 2015? Throw a hand up and I'll give you a little, yes?
Self-determination.
Oh, self-determination. Isn't that a good one? In other words, not what? Giving up. We give up. I was working with another group a while back, and I said, how many times do you ask for the sale before you kind of give up? He said, 1 or 2. I said to him, as many times as it takes, as long as you're not being what? Pushy. You don't believe me? I've got a grandchild that's 4 years old, that when he comes over to the house, he always wants to spend the night. I counted last week 11 closing attempts to spend the night. And every time I'd come back with a response, he came back with a what? Yeah, a rebuttal. I mean, good one. I said, well, you don't have your clothes with me. That's okay, Papa. My mom can bring them in the morning. Well, what about a toothbrush? Well, do you have an extra one? I mean, everything I said, he had an answer to the point where, guess what? He did what? He spent the night. Right? How's your self-determination? Don't give up so soon on that idea. Don't give up so soon because you're trying to get money. Don't give up. Whatever you're going after, you need that determination, because I'm telling you right now, you're going to get a lot of no's before you get a yes. When I'm working with salespeople, I say, you don't want to hear the word no. You want to be like my grandson. He doesn't hear the word no. He hears not now. Right? Because if he heard no, he'd stop asking. You want to be that, you want to have that same mentality. I'm not hearing the word no, I'm hearing the word not now. A lot of you who put, if you put quotes and proposals together, I'm doing some one-on-one coaching with a gentleman. I said, jumpstart yourselves this year by calling all your not nows first. In other words, all the proposals you wrote, all the proposals and quotes you put out there, you call them first. Because I said, I guarantee you, somebody what? They didn't do anything. They're just waiting for you to contact me again. Call your not nows. Because not nows become what? Nows. They become sales. They become opportunities. So I like that. Self-determination. Give me another one. Yes?
Self-evaluation.
Oh, self-evaluation. That's very similar to self-improvement. When was the last time you did your own self-evaluation? You kind of went down a checklist, and that's kind of what we're doing here today. Self-evaluation. I heard another one over here. Was that you?
Esteem.
Self-esteem. What are you doing for your self-esteem? Sometimes you have to have self-talk. See, a lot of times people won't tell you you're good. So sometimes you got to what? I'm good, Marvin. You're good, Marvin. I'm not in a cocky way, but in a what? A confident way. A little self-talk. Yes?
It goes with self-care.
Self-care. Yeah, self-care, self-esteem, self-determination. One more. One or two more. There's a couple other selfies I haven't heard yet.
Self-preservation.
Ooh, self-preservation. Yeah. Because things what? Change. And you got to be able to what? Adapt. How's your self-preservation? There was a lot of companies that didn't have self-preservation, and they're out of business. Self-preservation, that's a good one. One more.
Self-commitment.
Self-commitment. Self-commitment. Yeah. Are you all in? It's like the story about the chicken and the pig, right? The pig's committed. Totally, right? He's bringing the bacon. Chicken is giving eggs. The chicken's participating, but the pig is committed. Are you committed? Are you committed? I didn't tell the whole joke, but hope you got it. Okay, are you committed? Are you all in? Good. So it may not be the selfie I gave you. It may be the selfie that you heard from some of your teammates around the table here. But do something for yourself this year. Don't sit back. There's an expression that says, don't wait for your ship to come in. Swim out to it. In other words, you got to do something yourself. It's not going to come to you. You've got to go to it. Is it self-discipline? Is it self-confidence? Is it self-motivation? Is it self-control? Or is it some type of self-improvement or some of the other selfies that we heard around the tables here? But this year for 2015, do something for yourself. Thanks so much, Steve, for the opportunity to come here and talk today.